Ndala. Welcome back. So today in this episode of the Principles and Laws of Maat, we are going to be looking at yet another principle. It is another invitation to look at ways that we can transform and improve ourselves. With the laws of Maat, the objective is always to be better. It is never too late to improve. It is never too late to do better and to be better. So in this principle of the laws of Maat, it is an invitation to always do your best no matter the situation. This is one of the foundational principles in terms of personal growth, personal development, spiritual growth, or spiritual development. It is the aim has to be that you are aiming to do your best, to give it all that you have, to really give it a chance, to give yourself, to enable yourself to be able to achieve your goal, which is to improve yourself. And for that, you must put in the required effort. You must really put in the work. Always to the extent that you can, of course. And the reason why it is to the extent that you can is not ask of you that you're superhuman or extraordinary. It is ask of you that you do your best. And each of us can take a moment and think of things we've done in the past, things we've tried in the past, and especially our failures. And look at them and ask ourselves, did we really give it our best try? Did we really put in everything that we could at the time? And many of us, we know that there are times where we're doing something and we didn't do our best. We didn't give it all. No matter what was the reason we used at the time. We were too tired. We felt like we didn't have any energy. We felt like the world was against us. Too many things were going wrong, etc., etc., etc. Now is the time to look at those things that you didn't complete, the things that you botched, that you didn't really do well, that you didn't want to do well, that you didn't do as well as your own capabilities and abilities. It is a call to take a moment and to look at other commitments that you've made, other things that you want to do, so that you truly undertake them with the full energy that it requires, that you give it all that you have, that you do it in the best of your abilities, that you really aim to shine in everything that you touch, in everything that you do. This is how you won't have any regrets. This is how you won't feel guilty or feel like you could have done better, because you did. You did your best. That's why it's so important to have this personal ethics. Let your work speak for itself. Anytime you take on a task or a project or something that you want to do or a commitment to somebody, do it with the best of your energy, your best of your ability. Let everything that you touch turn into gold, not because it becomes literally gold, but because you are putting in your special touch, your special energy, and that you are going in there with the intention of doing your best, of being your best in every situation. And I say that this does not require you to be superhuman. This does not require you to be robotic, senseless, emotionless. It just requires you to do well, to do your best in any given situation. So it isn't a matter of people from the exterior looking at you and assessing what you're doing and telling you you could have done better. Unless, of course, those people are working closely with you. I will take the clear example of a coach. If you are training for a marathon and the coach is telling you to do certain things, the coach is there to help you push yourself even further than you thought you could. But outside of the situation where you work with someone closely that knows you and that kind of knows to what extent to push you, it is a job that you have to do for yourself. That when you take on something, you have to assess if you're doing the best you can, factoring everything else that's possibly going on in your life. And I know that sometimes we can be harsh, very harsh on ourselves. Sometimes we are even harsher on ourselves than we are onto others. And I will say this, when you are very harsh onto others, it means that you are also very harsh onto yourself. Because most of the time, the judgment that we place on others is to the standard that we place on our own self. If you're pointing fingers on someone for a reason, that fingers may come right back at you when you find yourself in the same position, when you find yourself having done the same actions. That's why it's really important to focus first on what you need to do, on how you need to improve. It isn't the world and others that need to change, beloved. It is you. You need to change. You need to improve. You need to do better than yesterday. And it is never too late to get up and stand on your own 2 feet. Stand on the shoulders of your ancestors, of those who came before you, that paved and opened the doorway and the way for you to be here today. And continue on. Because the thing that they've endured for you to be here could not stop them from giving their best. So today, no matter what situation you may find yourself, beloved, take a moment, take a deep breath, and assess everything else that is related to this complicated situation. And give yourself some breathing room. Don't be too harsh on yourself, even though the work still needs to be done. But make sure that you are giving your best. And if you haven't done so in the past, it's okay. Moving forward, do so. Do so every single day. Do so every single hour. Do so every single minute. Do so every single second. Your life is worth living. Living to the fullest of your abilities. By following this simple principle of Maat, which is to do your best. Even when you think you're reaching your breaking point, you may just have completed what you were supposed to provide. You may just have done your best. But before jumping to that conclusion, take the time to breathe and assess if it is truly the case. For many of us, we sometimes give up even before getting started, even before having even attempted something. And this is why I told you, beloved, it is not about what other things and how things should be done from their perspective, from what they know, what they think they know, what they are assuming about you. It is truly about what you do believe about yourself, what you realize about your own abilities, beloved, the infinite possibilities that lay within yourself, and the things that are uniquely yours to contribute to the world. Doing your best means that when you are attempting any task, you want to pour in that little touch that is uniquely yours. And you want to do it with all of your energy, all of the best that you have to offer the world. Don't start dividing things. Things are important that require more, things are less important, because, beloved, everything is important. The little details are as important as the bigger picture. Without the bigger picture, you don't have a sense of where you are going or what you're aiming for, or the vision of your life, or the vision of what you aim to achieve. But that vision without these components, the details that make it grand, the details that make it what it is, those you also have to pay attention to that and complete that and pour in the energy that's necessary into it. So whether you're just getting up in the morning, being hungry and wanting to make breakfast, go to your fridge in your kitchen, and instead of mechanically, robotically pulling out everything from the fridge that you need, think about whether you are giving it your best, whether you are aiming to prepare for yourself or your family a delicious meal, a nutritious meal. And as you open the fridge and look at whatever is in there, it may be a fully abundant fridge with lots of choices for you to pick, or it may be a almost empty fridge with only few ingredients in it. And yet your task now is to make the best of it. And as you make that food or warm it up or try to turn leftovers into a brand new delicious meal, induce in that your own personal touch, induce in that the love that is infinitely present within yourself. The same thing when you get up and you have to go to work or take on a new task or read a book or anything like that. Make it a task that you want to be seen as an accomplishment. Not for others to reward you or shine or exult about what you can do, but for yourself to exult in the fact that you are not only capable and willing, but you have the ability of making the most mundane and dull task feel and be grand. Many of you think that your place or your goal in the work is to achieve something that will touch the lives of thousands or millions. But truly, beloved, your first task is just to do things that will touch and amaze or fulfill the people that are closest to you. It may just be a few kind words with the mailman as you pick up the mail. It may be just doing laundry in the most loving and touching ways as you fold the clothes and express your gratitude for how they keep your children warm, how it keeps your wife warm or your husband warm or your grandparents. As you make your bed is to think and be grateful for this safe space where your body can lay as you travel through time, dimensions, and the worlds. It is for you to have a completely different outlook of the world, where you realize the place that is yours. And when you do your best with every single task and project that you take on, or that is being presented to you, the world will become a truly different place. Your sense of who you are in the world will also change as you do this day by day, hour after hour, minute after minute, seconds after seconds. The life of regret that you once knew and felt so bitter about or frustrated will be long gone, to be replaced by a brand new day. A day where you are in charge, a day where you get to be true to yourself, a day where you will make your own assessment of what else you need to do or how else you need to improve. And as you do so, beloved, as you amen, go towards being that greater, better version of yourself, where you give everything you've got, from the little things to the grand things, to even the things that may have seemed to you to be unimportant. As you do these things, beloved, watch the energy and the interaction and the people around you change. Watch and see how that different energy from you is changing you, but it's also changing everything and everyone around you. So it isn't an easy task to be honest with yourself, to see your failures, to see when you fail to do enough, when you refuse to take on that responsibility, when you ran away, when you felt it will be easier to be mean or easier to not do it at all, or when you just felt that you were not enough to participate, to contribute. Beloved, I am here to tell you that you are more than enough. If you are here, it's because there is something unique about you that is required, that your contribution to our experience now, more than ever, is needed. Not in a grand kind of way where you need to aim to change the world, but in a smaller, more personal kind of way where you need to change yourself. So don't be afraid. Many of us are walking that path, aiming and trying to do our best. It doesn't mean we'll succeed right away, but it means every time we fail, every time we end up on the floor, even if it hurts, and it's going to be painful, nothing is going to be easy, but even when it hurts, even when we feel like it's the end, and we can't give anymore, we take a breather and we take remembrance within ourselves of the love that is within us, and where that love is, the divine is present, and it is the force that will help you continue on. It is the force to turn to when you feel like you can't do it anymore, when you feel like being a good person, aiming for highest morality, living in harmony with your environment and others, is just too hard. Maat is asking you to recognize that sometimes you will feel those limitations. After all, you are human, and it is normal for you to feel those limitations at times, and those feelings will pass. So it is important that when you do feel that way, then you just remember that all that is asked of you is that you do your best. And whenever you achieve that stage where you know you've done everything that you could, rest at peace, my beloved. Rest at peace. For brothers and sisters like you are much needed today and the days to come. And when you fall down, remember to take a moment, but to always get up, because you are able to. It is within you. It is why you are here today. And as we progress with our work with Maat, our work with the divine principle that we're provided, so that we may be guided in the work that we do on ourselves, we are the first people we need to change. We are the first people that needs to do better. And as each of us just do our own part, not everyone else's part, not going around and changing everything else, but when we start by ourselves, by looking at what we as individuals can do better, can improve, in which way we don't give everything that we should, what are the things that we don't do to the best of our abilities, and of course improve on what we already do well, to be able to excel and perfect them. As we all do that, you will see slowly that the world is becoming a different place as well. So as you do this, I know it's going to be challenging, and I will be right there with you along the way. I've had my own challenges, and knowing that others are also on this path, that you won't let the naysayers tell you that being right or doing the right thing is worthless. Because deep inside of you, the reward is already there. The reward is in that particular choice. A choice you're called to make every single day when you wake up. To make that day better than yesterday. To be yourself better than you were yesterday. So for those of you who thought that you were not worth of this undertaking, that you had committed too many mistakes or let down too many people, no, this goal is also for you, beloved, and it may even be more for you. Let my voice reassure you that it is never too late to correct those mistakes. It is never too late to do your best. It is never too late to improve and do better. All that is asked of you is that you don't only want and be willing to do it, but that you start today and every day now on.